All right, guys. Well, welcome in. So as I said in the beginning, we are in Babcock Ranch and we have a couple of guests with us. We do have some things that we kind of saw on the Babcock Ranch page, the kind of what's happening in Babcock. So now we actually have a couple guests with us. Guys, if you want to just state your name and, say who you are. Go ahead.
I'm Nicolette Gamachi,
Hi,
and
Nicolette.
I'm the mother of the kid that was hurt today and the former employee of Lake House Kitchen and Bar.
Okay. And go ahead.
My name is Kenton Gamachi. I'm her husband.
All right, Ken. So as you just alluded a little bit to it then, so what we have is we have a little bit of an incident that happened. And so again, like we said earlier, just a little bit of full disclosure. We were just over there. She was on Facebook, just kind of, waiting, and we just happened to see it. So we've reached out to you. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for inviting us.
if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about kind of what happened earlier today, with your son and kind of what happened and kind of some of the things that you've actually posted. If you don't mind, just tell everyone kind of what happened.
It's a long story, so
Okay.
bear with me. I'm sorry. But specifically today, what happened is I got a call from my son when me and my husband were shopping at Publix. He was crying. He said that
How old is your son?
he's 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah. He said that he was hit while he was out fishing at the dock that's next to Lake House Kitchen and Bar.
Okay.
He was hit in the face and in the arm by another boy.
Okay.
Obviously we were worried about him, so we came all the way down here.
Mm-hmm.
We had him point out the boy that was responsible for hitting him and told us the story of what happened. I guess my son had approached that boy over something that he had littered on the dock. So he had brought it to the boy's attention, and asked if the slime that he had thrown on the ground was theirs.
Mhm.
They denied it, and they took the slime out of his hand and proceeded to throw it all around Founders Square, which is right behind us.
Right.
And continued to litter. So my son said, you need to pick that up. He's a real rule follower here. I
Sure.
mean, he loves
Yeah,
the
sounds like it.
community. He loves fishing.
Good.
He definitely respects Babcock. And when he mentioned that they needed to pick it up is when one of the boys from this group of boys hit my son in the head and on the arm. And one of the older boys from that group had to break up the fight. So by the time we had gotten there, they had already dispersed, but they were still in the area.
Now, these other kids that you're talking about, were they the same age or were they older?
Roughly. There were some that were a little bit older, but I don't know their exact ages,
Okay.
but they looked roughly the same age as my
Okay.
son, a little bit older, some of them. But when we arrived, we had Skylar, our son, point out the boys, and come to find out they were eating at the lake house. The adults and the boys were eating at the
okay.
lake house. So they were sitting outside on the patio. And, so my husband went to speak with the adults. We had already contacted Community Patrol
good.
to have them be witnesses.
So did you contacted community control or did you call the sheriff's office?
At first I contacted just Community Patrol.
Okay.
And I was fine with just handling it, with just speaking to the adults and figuring out what happened.
Mhm.
And I left it to my husband to figure that out.
Okay.
So he went to go speak to them. They were sitting over on the patio, like I said, and the parents took no accountability for their son's actions. They said that my son instigated their son to hit him because he said for them to pick up his trash.
You saw something like that in the post, didn't you?
Yeah, I did see that.
Which
Yeah.
was wild to me as a parent,
Yeah,
that
that's
another
insane.
parent's trying to excuse their behavior of physically touching my son for saying anything, regardless of what my son may have said or how he said it. They
Yeah.
couldn't give you any justification to lay hands on anyone.
Sure.
And so that was my indication that I needed to call law enforcement and get them there.
Oh, okay.
So that
That's what
way
happened.
we could make sure that the parents learned the lesson and the kid learned the lesson and that everybody was
Mhm.
aware how severe this was. I didn't say anything to anyone at Lake House. I let my husband handle it with them. I walked away.
Mhm.
The only thing I did say is I went in to go get a water for my son.
Mhm.
As I said, I'm an employee there, or was an employee.
Yeah, I was
at
gonna
Lake
say,
House,
yeah.
So I know several of the people that were working there this morning. They asked me why I was there, and I said I'm waiting for community patrol, and I'm also waiting
Did
for the
the
police.
did the people there that worked there, did they know that that was your son?
Yeah,
They knew what was going
they
on?
know my son. He's always there.
Yeah.
He's always fishing.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if they witnessed the battery that happened on the dock, but they did
the parents of the other kids see it?
So I will interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
not parents. So they were the guardians. The parents are out of state. So the children are down here for, I don't know the exact reason, but the children are just down here temporarily. And their parents are up north somewhere.
Okay.
So
So do they even live here?
No,
No.
not the kids that
Oh.
were
not
responsible.
the kids or the family. They don't live here in Babcock. They live outside Babcock somewhere.
Oh, okay. Huh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so go on.
So, like I said, I was getting my son a water, waiting for police to arrive. Several employees asked me what was going on, and I just told them, my son got hit. I'm waiting for police. I'm obviously irritated,
Sure.
but I didn't make a scene.
Mhm.
But I had every right to say what was happening,
Sure.
and
At this point, did Dustin or the manager come up and talk to you at all?
At this point, Dustin was talking to a kitchen manager, Jeremy, as well as a corporate manager. His name is Lance. They were talking outside of Lake House by the employee entrance.
Okay.
And I saw them. And before police came, I went and I said, "Hey, you guys, I'm really sorry,
Oh,
but I
okay.
have to get police involved in this situation. Obviously, it's severe
Sure.
and a report needs to be made." I made a funny joke and I said, "At least I'm not in employee uniform."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
To which Dustin said, "Well, tomorrow you will be." And I go, "Okay, point."
Sure.
And he goes, "Well, if they come in tomorrow and recognize you, that won't make them very comfortable." And I said, "Well, why would I care about whether they're comfortable?" I said, "Their son hit my son."
Yeah.
And that's battery.
Yeah, and they don't even live here.
And I
apparently.
left it at that, and I
Sure.
walked away. The police came. We filed our report with the police. As the situation is involving children, and the police spoke to the parents and came back and asked us if we wanted to press charges, which we had full right to do, because it is battery.
And did you?
We chose not to.
Really? I think someone said that.
We chose not to because we're parents too.
Sure.
And as long as the parents or the adults responsible of this kid were willing to come over and apologize to my son in front of us with police, which is what they ended up doing.
Oh, good.
We felt like the situation could be resolved and we could shake hands and walk away. I mean, I have kids. I know mistakes happen. The point was made with police. It was all caught on body cam footage. The report was made with police. They said it's all documented. If it ever happened again, I have all the documentation from this report. So, actions were taken.
Sure.
But I just didn't feel with a kid being about the same age as my son's that we needed to go further when an apology was finally made. And as we were wrapping up speaking to the police officers, Dustin comes up with a incident report he's writing and asks the police officer for their badge number.
Okay.
To which the police officer kind of rolled his eyes because he didn't understand why Dustin was even coming up to him. Because, mind you, I wasn't even on Lake House property when I was talking to the
it's not even
police
at Lake House.
officers. I was standing over by the dock.
So let's just get it clear. Dustin is the manager. He's the manager,
assistant
general manager. Okay.
of Lake House.
That's who. Okay. All right. So go on.
And so after he finishes his write-up, after the police leave, I noticed he's spelling my name wrong on the write-up. And I said that, and he said, "Oh, that's how I always spell it."
Okay.
It's not correct. But I asked him for a copy of the incident report because I didn't know what he had written down, and I wanted it for my own documentation. He refused to give me a copy of the incident report. He walked away. And then I said, "I'd really like to have it." He said, "You'll get it later."
And this is Dustin.
Yes.
Okay.
And I said, "But I'd like to have a copy." And
So
he
you
said,
never got a copy from the officer?
No, he refused to give it to me.
No, not from the officer. So this is what she's talking about
this is Dustin.
Lake Houses. The way the officers have it is we could have requested it with the officers right then and there, but they just kind of give you a little paper that gives you the details we can request the official transcripts of what happened.
Oh, like in a day or two.
The incident report that was being filed by Lake House has nothing to do with the officers.
Yeah. This was just Dustin's filling out an incident report because a incident occurred at Lake House And there was no incident.
There was no incident other than
You said it was the fishing dock.
Yeah, the fishing dock, and then
yes, the people involved were eating at the restaurant, and the police had to go talk to them at the table, but that was as far as their interaction went.
As I was talking with them while they were eating, I didn't even approach their table. I waved them over to come talk to me outside of Lake House.
Okay.
And so we kind of met like on the patio area. But as our conversation kind of started steering in a direction of like, okay, we're not coming to a mutual agreement. Right. And I'll say they were very professional. I was very professional. We never yelled or anything.
Right.
But I looked at the lady and I go, I'm going to go over there and wait for the officers.
Sure.
I go, we'll just wait for them to handle the situation. There was no incident within Lake House at all. And so I don't understand why Dustin was writing one. Maybe because I approached them as they were eating. I can understand it, but because Nicolette's name was written down on the Lake House incident report, she is granted a right to have a copy of it.
Right.
And Dustin was refusing her, and I was right there as this was happening. And Nicolette asked 3 times. She goes, "Can I have a copy?" No. "Can I take a picture of it?" "No, you'll get one later. We're going to have a discussion." And Nicolette goes, "No, I would like one right now." And he goes, "No, you're terminated."
Oh, wow. So he just said it right there.
Well, I mean, it happened that quick. And then I go, "Did you just literally fire my wife?" And he goes, "Absolutely. Florida's a right to work state. I can fire anybody for any reason." And I go, "No, but that's retaliation because you even stated earlier that you're worried about them coming back in and recognizing her." And I go, "You terminated her because she called the police."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, why don't you just go ahead and put it on Facebook?"
So I did.
So here we are.
That's insane.
But,
he gave me permission to post it. So, I think it's childlike that he decided to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, also after all this happened, I did reach out to Colin when it first happened.
Who's that?
Colin is my general manager.
Okay.
I called him twice on his personal phone number, and I also reached out to him on the group WhatsApp page for all of the employees before I was removed from that page, to have him reach out to me and speak to me before I posted anything on Facebook. I did not hear from him. He did not return my phone calls. And I just felt like with Dustin having been childlike and telling me that I could go to Facebook and voice my Facebook concerns there, and that I was fired because I had to involve police over a battery incident with my kid when it wasn't even on Lake House property and I wasn't even working. I felt I had every right to.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that maybe some of the people are kind of misunderstanding on the comments, at least that I can tell. I think at least I thought you were working.
No,
and then,
I wasn't even in
there.
this outfit. I wasn't even in Lake House clothes. I've not changed.
Yeah, so I don't understand that. Okay, so he terminates you then. So I know you had just mentioned about the Rotary Club, and Kent, you had said something about they're looking to terminate you. At least you felt like it.
Yeah.
So explain that. What happened there, and why do you think that this was just like,
I feel like it was retaliation.
The retaliation.
The Rotary Club incident happened about, I would say, roughly 3 weeks, a month ago.
And what is the Rotary Club? It's like, what is
it's a non-for-profit organization.
Okay.
They meet.
Are they here in Babcock?
They have multiple branches. So like you have the main.
They have a ton of different branches.
Right.
The Rotary International is like the main kind of.
So it's like the Moose Lodge for.
Yeah. So then they have you have Southwest Rotary, you have Babcock Rotary, Naples Rotary, Lehigh Rotary.
Yeah.
There's a whole Florida Rotary.
Right.
It's just.
And they just get together here?
Yeah. So the Babcock Ranch Rotary comes to Lake House twice a month.
Okay.
And they'll have their Rotary meetings in one of our back private rooms. I was working that day that they came in. Southwest Florida Rotary's banner was being hung behind our host stand, which is not Babcock Ranch Rotary's, it's the rival Rotary. They didn't I know this is so.
I wouldn't call it rival. It's just
but
different chapter.
Babcock Ranch Rotary believes they have rivals.
Yes.
It's a petty little thing.
Southwest Florida Rotary doesn't believe in rivalries.
So unfortunately, it's one organization, Babcock Ranch Rotary, has a turf war and didn't like seeing this flag being displayed behind our host stand. They wanted their flag displayed as well, which is totally fine.
Sure.
Don't have any issue with that. But throughout the night, they kept trying to change the hook that it was hanging on because they wanted theirs more prominently displayed in the restaurant than the other, the Southwest Florida Rotary.
Sure.
But Southwest Florida Rotary had brought in that hook that their flag was hanging on. They paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Their property.
Right.
And so I did a couple times switch over their flags, still displayed, mind you, behind Lake House, host stand. So both flags were on display the whole night. It's just one was on the hook that the one flag belonged to.
Right.
And the other one was not.
Okay.
So at the end of their meeting, one of their Rotary members got upset, went behind our host stand and removed Southwest Florida Rotary's flag and walked out the building with it.
Oh, wow.
I saw it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to the remaining members and I said, hey, I don't know who took it, but the host saw one of your male members walk out with the other flag. If you could please figure out who took it and have them return it.
Yeah.
It's technically theft to take something that's not yours.
Right.
I thought it'd be simple. Like, I thought they would just bring it back and it would be over. Well, they continued to make excuses and bash about, how Southwest Florida Rotary is so bad and they shouldn't be allowed to be there, be represented because they have this weird turf war.
Yeah, turf war.
Is silly. I had gone up to another member because she was talking to Dustin and said, hey, as a resident, I do like to see Southwest Florida Rotary's flag displayed.
Sure.
I benefit from them as a resident. They do a lot of great organizational help within the community for kids here. Personally, Southwest Florida Rotary sponsors my kids' local fishing group here.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a free fishing club for kids here in the community to join. Cool. And it's been wonderful for a year and a half. It's been such a great thing for kids to meet other friends and do something active.
And it's something completely different than just
so great.
Baseball or, it's something different.
It's so great. It's so active. It's such a good thing for kids to have here. So I just said, I have a personal interest in seeing them displayed. They have every right to be here just as much as you guys do.
Sure.
And it doesn't justify you guys to take their flag for any reason. I said theft is theft and that's not okay. I walked away.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Dustin claimed that the woman that I spoke to said that I was rude and she felt attacked. So he wrote me up and said that he was writing me up because they threatened a bad review against Lake House because I had confronted them about their party stealing a flag, or a banner or whatever they want to call it. So I called my GM who was not there on the day that I got
suspended. The same guy that you called earlier today?
Yes,
it's the same GM?
So he was not there. It was Dustin, the one that fired me, who wrote me up and suspended me for this Rotary issue a couple weeks ago. And I called Colin because I was really confused. I didn't understand why I was being written up. I didn't say anything out of line or unprofessional. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't curse. I didn't use any inappropriate language. I just stated a fact and mentioned that both flags have a right to be displayed.
Sure.
And it was all caught on camera,
and it sounds
mind
like
you.
Pettiness. But
Yeah, it was all caught on camera, them taking the flag, everything. So, I mean, I have my proof on that. And so I called Colin and I asked, why do we care if they write a bad review? Like, if they write a bad review about Lake House that they got in trouble for stealing, doesn't that just look bad on them?
Right.
Well, I don't think he fully understood the situation. So at that time, I was still, put on my suspension. Colin didn't know what was going on, but I was upset. I had tried to reach out to talk to Rotary and get the situation resolved. Mm-hmm. Nobody was contacting me. So I posted to the group pages as a resident to let me know what happened.
That's why he said.
So I guess
Facebook,
this is coming back to my original post, and that's why he said I could go to Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I did it once before.
Right.
And a lot of people.
So that's what you're saying about the vendetta.
Yes. Yep. Because it was the same manager. And
got it.
Specifically said I could go to Lake House
Facebook.
During her week suspension, she actually did nothing but defend the Lake House in that incident.
Multiple times.
And the community was kind of more against Lake House with a lot of bad press going to Lake House from it.
Sure.
By saying, she shouldn't have been suspended. And she just kept saying, I'm going to stand by what my managers did. It's okay. And she was more on I just want Babcock Rotary to apologize and to admit they stole and to return the property. A couple days later, they couldn't return the property because they lost it, destroyed it, whatever. It was gone. But they did they reimbursed the money to Southwest Florida Rotary. Okay. So they reimbursed the money for it.
Okay.
And they thought that was the end of it. But Nicolette was really pushing on, I want an apology, not only to myself, but I want one to Lake House and Southwest Florida Rotary. And so it took a week. That finally did happen.
We met with Colin, my GM, as well as 3 members from the Rotary. One was the guy who stole the flag. The other one was the founder of Babcock Ranch.
So you met with the guy who stole the flag?
Yeah. But the other one was Lori, the founder of Babcock Ranch Rotary, who watched the guy steal the flag at the host stand and who's one of the people that I spoke to who could have resolved the issue immediately.
Sure.
And then the other one was her husband. But we met with them. We sat down. I talked to Colin. He said he supported me. He said that he apologized, that he had not been there. Had he known the full situation, things would have gone differently. We sat down with Rotary. They took no accountability for their actions. They didn't seem to care that they had stolen property. They blamed me because I enraged them for moving their flag from one hook to another hook, which seems ironically comical to what just happened today.
So how long ago was the Rotary incident today?
About 3 weeks.
It's about 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's all pretty recent.
Yeah.
It's all very
And that's why
recent.
I warned her while she was on her suspension. I was like, when you go back, just make sure you follow, ABCs. Just don't do anything out of line. I go, because from what I've seen with the Lake House is they like to protect their reviews. And even though she defended them,
comment too.
Even though she defended them, there was still a lot of bad reviews going around about them. And that's basically kind of exactly what happened today is
another bad review.
Dustin's worried about that family possibly coming back and writing a bad review.
Mad because I'm serving
or being
them.
mad because she works there. Like if they found out that she works there, so what? Like again, your son hit my son. Your club member stole from another club here. Like, and that's where her and I are tired of people kind of walking on other people, and it's not just us.
Yeah.
So
of course.
as a few years ago, we started to be more outspoken about when we see things that are unfair. Because it truly is. There's a lot of things that happen that a lot of people are just like, oh, let's just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because I will say this, it's not just her who's been wrongfully terminated from the Lake House as of recently.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people
within the last couple of weeks, there's been a few employees who have worked there for a long time, who have done great work there, but because they speak up against Dustin, he terminates them on the spot, even though the Lake House.
This dude's only been there for a month?
Yep.
A little over a month, barely, but it's very recent.
He's not been there since the beginning.
He's not been there that long. And to be fair, he goes against policy every time he fires somebody. He fired me today without another manager present. And per our company policy, 2 managers need to be present for a firing. And he fired me that way. He fired 2 other young hosts that are minors that were working there without a manager present, as well as other employees. So he has broken policy multiple times.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
So with these 2 things, it seems like you're, pretty reasonable person. Both you guys, pretty reasonable people wanting just apologies and things acknowledged. So what are you looking for as far as what do you want to happen now? Now that you've been terminated, things like that. I think some of the comments were going on about suing and things like that.
I mean,
what's the next, what are you looking for?
Definitely will be pursuing legal action against Dustin specifically and the Lake House. I think that it was retaliation. I do believe that it was wrongful termination. I don't feel like they had any cause to do what they did.
Okay.
I mean, I have no prior write-ups other than the Rotary write-up, which, I mean, you can choose to see however you want with that one, but that one is the same case of what's right and what's wrong. And I spoke up with what I believe morally is the right thing to do in both instances.
So is there anything that could happen, that could, have you change your mind?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't go back to an employer who won't stand behind their employees.
And it's not like earlier today when it was call him a 10 to 12-year-old boy who did something wrong. That boy's still learning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dustin's a man.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know his age. I'm going to say he's definitely over 30s. I don't know his personal life, whether he's married or kids. I don't know any of that, so I'm not going to speculate on that. But he's a grown-up.
Yeah,
he needs to learn from his mistakes, and he's had plenty of times to where employees have voiced their concerns to him in reasonable ways, but then those employees are terminated.
Right.
And he
seems like a bully.
He is, unfortunately.
But he needs to learn, and unfortunately, when you're an adult, sometimes you have to learn the hard way.
Right, yeah,
and because it seems like the lake house is standing behind Dustin, they're going to have to stand behind him on this one.
Right.
And maybe we have a case, maybe we don't. We're waiting to hear back.
Well, that's all I was going to ask, is what do you hear back from legal counsel or?
Yep.
Okay, you've already done it?
We've reached out already. We're waiting to hear back.
Okay.
And because they haven't gotten back to us so fast, because typically when it's
typically
even when it's a no, they get back to you pretty quick, and they're like, that's not something we're interested in. But if we do, great, he'll learn a lesson. If not, maybe at least this will teach them a lesson. Because you can't just be a bully and push people around because of whatever feelings you may have. I managed people for 23 years.
Right.
I had incidences where it's like, I wish I could do things this way, but you just can't.
Yeah. Sure.
You got to manage people properly. And from what I see and hear, and it's not just through her, it's, I'm a Babcock resident.
Right.
I frequented that bar.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to know a lot of people in there, and they would even share their concerns with me beyond what she would share with me. And it's been since Dustin's got there, the employee morale has truly changed.
Yeah.
And it's going the wrong direction. And I know the lake house wants to go the right direction.
Right.
But
we just moved here only like 2 months ago, maybe. So we go up there on Wednesday nights, for ladies' night, and we go up there, different times, and it's not 5-star by any means, but it is what it is. And we've always had a good time. So to hear this stuff just kind of sucks, honestly. I mean, even Ryan over there said that, that he's been here for a little while. He lives across the street over here, across 31. And it's like, apparently there's just never had great management. I mean,
fortunately, it seems to be that way, but it's significantly gotten worse. And I mean, to be fair, I really, as a resident, don't like to see negative reviews about anything within my community.
Sure.
I really hate to be one of the people that has to put something out that's negative. Like I said, in the Rotary Post, I fully supported Lake House time and time again with everything bad that was being said. I said, no, Lake House is great. They're trying, they're working, they're a good business. And I did feel the need to protect them as an employee and even personally as a resident. But in this situation with Dustin, I feel the best thing for that restaurant and for the community, for the employees, is for him to get in trouble and to be held accountable.
Yeah, well, that's all about to say. Just be held accountable. That's what it sounds like to me.
They deserve better. The employees deserve better. And I wouldn't want them to be held accountable because none of the servers there are responsible for what's going on.
Sure.
But unfortunately, management does need to be looked at.
Well, do you have any other questions or do you have anything that you wanted to say?
No, just wow.
Sorry.
That's just wow. Well, guys, we really appreciate it. Thank you for replying and thank you for coming out so quick. Again, we had no idea what was happening, but good to hear. Again, we're residents just like you guys are. We want to make sure we want to hear, things happening good in the community. There's only 15 or 19,000 people here and they want 200,000 people living here. They gotta, that place better figure it out.
100%.
And quick, because it's them, Slaters and, Mexican and pizza. And that's all we got. So it's they better figure it out. So guys, again, appreciate it. Very good luck to you.
Thank you.
How's your son doing? Sorry, I guess we should ask that.
He's home resting. He's fine.
Good. She has a 10-year-old daughter. I have a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old daughter. So, we don't like to hear anything like that. We love seeing all the kids playing.
Well, I love
Part
that
of what
this
drove us.
community.
Exactly.
That's
It's what
the whole reason we moved here is because it feels like a small
Exactly.
town where your kids can
Yeah.
be free to go out and
Yeah.
do stuff without parents being like helicopters. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping this is a once-off
Yeah.
weird incident. I mean, the kid
Yeah.
doesn't live here, but
Yeah.
there's
We don't like
something
hearing
needs
it.
to be said.
So, all right, guys. Well, best of luck to you. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, Nicolette,
Thank
very
you.
good luck to you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We really, really
Nice meeting you.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a break. That'll be it.